Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Royal Oman Police celebrates the opening of new police services building in the Governorate of Al-Buraymi. The Public Authority for Electricity and Water seeks to establish 2 desalination plants. And around 1,600 students are preparing for external scholarships in 14 countries for the academic year 2017-2018. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we do present to you the details of this news bulletin. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cabal of thanks from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland and head of the Commonwealth in reply to His Majesty's cabal of condolences on the victims of a fire in a residential tower west of London. A ceremony was held by Royal Oman Police for the opening of police service building in the Wilayah of Buraymi. The event came as part of continuous attention by the General Commander of Royal Oman Police to provide development and modern police services that cover all wilayahs of the Sultanate. The opening ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Ibrahim bin Saeed Al Busaidi, Governor of Al-Buraymi. The building was established to facilitate rendering police services in the governorate. It was provided by state-of-art equipment and systems to save time and effort and provide best services. To enhance the water security in the Sultanate, the Public Authority for Electricity and Water is seeking to expand and establish 2 desalination plants. Bulletin newspaper said that the authority is working to support main water supply lines in the governorate of Dakhiliya, Al-Sharqiyya and Al-Batina. The authority is seeking through its ambitious strategy to cover 98% of the Sultanate's population by the end of 2040. To ensure the sustainability of water for upcoming generations, the Sultanate has adopted a policy to preserve groundwater as a strategic reserve to be used in emergency cases. Among its plans, the authority will sign this year an agreement with the private sector to establish a new desalination plant in the governorate of South Sharqiyya to serve the governorates of South and North Sharqiyya. Another agreement is also expected to be signed during the upcoming period to establish a desalination plant in the Wilayah of Khasab in the governorate of Musandam. Around 1,600 students are preparing themselves for their external scholarships to attend the bachelor degree in the academic year 2017-2018 in 14 countries. The Minister of Higher Education is working to issue new laws that aim to organize and modernize mechanisms of internal scholarship towards an educational environment that keeps pace with labor market. The Council of Education drew its policies for every phases of education through evaluating them and studying their developments as to ensure the quality of their outputs. As part of the Council's policies to develop the education system, an annual award for educational excellence was assigned for Omani teachers. The Ministry of Education is working to prepare its conditions and regulations and expand the functions of Omani Academic Accreditation Authority to play a greater role in developing the quality of education investment. There are also good investment opportunities in the field of technical and vocational education and cooperations with regional and international countries to exchange expertise and transfer knowledge. Reviewing cooperation relations between the 2 countries in various fields was the core of discussions at the meeting held between His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, and his Algerian counterpart, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Al Msahel, who is an official visit to the Sultanate. During the meeting, they exchanged points of view on current issues at regional and international level, in addition to matters of mutual concern. Within the framework of his visit to the Sultanate, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Msahel, Minister of Foreign Affairs in Algeria, visited Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque. He was briefed about the history of the mosque's establishment, its Islamic architectural designs, beside its other facilities such as Islamic Sciences Institute, the library and the lectures hall. The Education Council specialized an annual award for educational proficiency for the Omani teachers as the Minister of Education is working on its regulations. This came within the plans of the Council to prepare a consultative study on the aspects related to the development of education system in the Sultanate. This step will also provide an opportunity to invest in schools as well as technological education, in addition to cooperation with a number of world countries to exchange knowledge and expertise. The Council also aims to prepare capable and qualified human resources to keep up with the global economic changes. In this regard, the Education Council held a seminar on development aspects and the current employment opportunities in the labor market. It came up with a number of recommendations to take the education in the Sultanate to advanced stages. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. A 700-year-old charter house in France is undergoing gigantic maintenance works. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. In order to upgrade crafts industries, the main committee of Sultan Qaboos Contents for Crafts Proficiency in its fifth round held its second meeting for the year. During the meeting, the initial evaluation forms and the final assessment for contest was approved in the field of crafts production and ventures. The committee followed up the latest developments and reports forwarded to it by other countries or committees. Through these contests, the Public Authority for Crafts Industries seeks to enhance developmental paths among artisans and entrepreneurs to come up with an Omani crafts products capable of competing in the local and international arena. 233 tons of fish quantities out of 304 tons were sold at the central fish market in the Wilaya of Barka, with a total sale exceeding 246,000 Omani Riyals. Statistics issued by the Director General of Marketing and Fisheries Wealth and the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth pointed out that the fish trade in the market during last July reached 221 tons, out of which 179 tons were sold. The summer centers in the Governorate of South Al-Batina aim to instill good religious values and citizenship among the youth and the youngsters, in addition to make them capable to serve the community. The summer programs are being implemented by the Minister of Education in various wilayas of the Sultanate. The activities included sailing, where the students got acquainted with skills necessary to venture into the sea. The participants expressed that such centers are significant to enhance their knowledge and talents in various fields, in addition to benefit from their free time in learning useful things and engaging in new experiences. Now to Jabal Al-Akhdar, a study by the National Field Research Center for Environmental Conservation at the Diwan of the Royal Court revealed the economic feasibility of the wild plants available in Jabal Al-Akhdar in the Governorate of Al-Dakhiliyah. It stressed on the importance of benefiting from such plants, especially in researches, as well as to preserve such natural wealth and spread awareness among the members of the society. Through this study, the centre aims to prepare a database for future researchers in related fields and gather detailed information about the wild plants. It also shed light on multiple usage of such plants in nutrition, medical field, construction and feeding livestock. Now, for a year, France's biggest charters house in the northern Pas-de-Calais region has been undergoing monumental refurbishment works. Here is the detail.
The supporting walls, the roof, the windows, the facade and the interior. The charter house of Neuville-sous-Montreuil near Le Touquet in northern France has been undergoing gigantic renovation works for a year, works which are scheduled for completion in 2020. 14,000 square meters will be renovated, all at the same time. The biggest undertaking of its kind on one of France's historical monuments.
It's a building that for nearly 30 years wasn't completely abandoned, but it wasn't maintained and was very damaged. So there are parts which could crumble, and inside there's also a type of fungus called Serpula lacrymans. And as long as the whole of the building is not sheltered from damp, if you treat only one part, it will reappear in the part we've just treated.
The charter house was founded 700 years ago. Around the cloister are 24 small houses. At one time, each of those housed a monk in retreat. And although its inhabitants cleared out in 1901, the charter house has never stopped welcoming communities, from artists in the early 20th century to Belgian refugees during the First World War. It was even a hospice during the second half of the 20th century.
When the French government gave it to the Belgians, they were able to rebuild a small part of Belgium, separated from the rest of the world. When the hospice made its place here 50 years ago, they were able to establish an autonomous way of running things.
The charter house was on the verge of crumbling when it was saved. Now the walls of the chapel are nearing completion. A total of 150 workers from 22 different crafts have come together to renovate this remarkable site. This young mason spent 9 months learning all the techniques specific to the upkeep of historical monuments.
Before doing this, I was working on individual houses. I wasn't able to see buildings with a history, so it's always interesting to see buildings that have a past.
Since 2008, the charter house has been open to the public, a chance to discover these various chapters of history. But the group behind the maintenance works has other ideas for the future of the site. It will now welcome both a cultural centre and a private hotel, and the cost? 25 million euros.
And now for the general weather forecast around the southern. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of the Far and its nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the southern will have clear skies with chances of scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be south to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Royal Oman Police celebrates the opening of new police services building in the Governorate of Al Burimi. The Public Authority for Electricity and Water seeks to establish 2 desalination plants. Around 1,600 students are preparing for external scholarships in 14 countries for the academic year 2017-2018. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin, brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. The entire news team do wish you a pleasant evening and good night.